Adjectives are the most wonderful things. They describe nouns, giving them color, quantity, characteristic, emotions, and so many other qualities. There are some big differences between the way adjectives work in English and in Spanish, and in this video we will learn those differences. In an earlier video, we talked about how all nouns in Spanish have gender and number, meaning that each noun is either masculine or feminine, and either singular or plural. We also talked about how the article that goes with a given noun must reflect the same gender and number as the noun, and that is called agreement. Well, the same is true for adjectives. They too must agree with the noun in terms of gender and number. Failure to do so would result in a lack of communication. Adjectives that end in e, or in most consonants in their default form, like grande or gris, only have two forms, singular and plural. You can see that in the examples here. But adjectives that end in o in their default form have four forms: masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, and feminine plural. You can see that in rico and alto. There are some adjectives that, in their base form, end in a stressed syllable. These are frequently nationalities or ethnicities. These also have four forms, just like those adjectives that end in o in their default form. We see a couple of examples here with alemán and japonés. Notice that the accent mark on the last syllable in the masculine singular form goes away in the other forms. We will talk about accents in another video. A typical noun phrase has a distinct formula. The article comes first. In the next spot is the quantifying adjective, then the noun, then the descriptive adjective. You certainly do not need to have all those parts in a given noun phrase. You could have an article, a noun, and a descriptive adjective, which is by far the most common noun phrase. Or you could have an article, a quantifier, and the noun. Or you could have a quantifier, the noun, and a descriptor. You could even have all of them in one noun phrase. Regardless of the parts, remember that the descriptive adjective goes after the noun, and the quantifier goes before it. Exceptions. Of course they exist. It would not be a human language without them. And when it comes to adjectives, there is a short list. Bueno, malo, and grande may precede the noun they modify. However, these nouns no longer mean the same as when they are pure descriptors and are after the noun. They take on more significance. Bueno comes to mean great or exceptional when before the noun, but good when it comes after it. Malo means just generally bad when after a noun, but horrid or evil when before the noun. Grande comes to mean great or impressive when before the noun, rather than the meaning of large, like when it is after the noun. When these adjectives precede a masculine singular noun, they shorten to buen, mal, and gran. For right now, this should get you started on how to use adjectives properly in Spanish.